Many authoritarian regimes are personalistic. By contrast, what the Mexican regime achieved was institutionalization.
Why are you in your car?
You know, lately I've been coming to my car for a little bit of quiet. The kids are at home and it's just a little too chaotic for me. And so I come out here and sit in my car, have my little private mobile bubble, which helps.
I love that.
So I'm Manny Fernandez. I'm the Houston bureau chief for the New York Times. Basically, that means I cover Texas and Oklahoma. Each time there's like a conversation with my editors about, is it worth going? Should you go? What are the precautions? Which is different, right? I mean, it used to be that, you know, you're a reporter, you just go out, you don't talk to your editor about, hey, I'm gonna go here. You know, it's like that's one thing that's different. It's required reporters to be as creative as possible in how you do reporting. And the officer said, do you mind if I take a picture of that so I don't have to touch it? And the guy dropped his hand. He's like, what? I don't understand. And that one moment was really like the heart of my piece. And so like, it was worth it. It was worth it because like, you know, you can kind of, I can imagine that maybe some officers are doing stuff like that, but I saw it myself and there was a moment and it was real and we got to write about it. On one hand, this is a little different, but I guess, you know, one story I did do is that my assignment was to go out to Brenham and to do a story about a food giveaway line that the local school district was doing.
Good morning. It is Wednesday. I have an exam Friday for Gov, and based on the sequence you just watched, I have not prepared as much as I should be, and that's kind of a stressor in the back of my mind, but I'm just trying to focus on what I can control, which is what I do from this point forward until Friday. But today I actually have registration. Registration is always like a stressful thing, but I'm hoping to get all the classes that I need and also register for some during the summer. I'm possibly thinking about graduating early, but that's kind of terrifying because that would mean that I'm already a third of the way there. My cat. I'll let her out in a bit. Just kidding, I'll go get her. Oh. But yeah, it's definitely just a strange time right now, but you know, we're all making the best out of what we can, and that's really all you can ask of yourself. Good morning. It is Thursday. Today is actually my last journalism class for digital storytelling basics, and I'm actually super sad because I have absolutely loved this class and this professor, Quigley, if you ever have him. I feel like I really got to apply what I was learning into actual projects, and I love the video and audio format. There's just something so engaging about a video versus print, even though I love print too. But yeah, so today's our last class. It's about to start in like 5 minutes. But yeah, I've just really enjoyed this class, and so if you ever take it, I hope you have an amazing time also.
By the end of the semester, those of you who've never written a news story before will be in just as good a shape as the ones who've had experience. So I believe so much in laying that foundation well, that we're going to help you get through it. And we're there with you every step of the way.
This is an important class. Should I be doing it when there may be a time of uncertainty? We're still going to make it as good as it can be. And so that, I would say, should not be a concern for you. We will make it an enriching, rewarding experience no matter what is going on in the wider world. You see that in the story, then ooh, I can call that person too for my story and talk to them about how that applies to what my story is working on. And so be smart about, finding sources that way when you may not know where to begin.
From my heart, thank you for, being such great students.
If it is about not pursuing gold stars, if it is about taking care of your loved ones, etc., good. That's an answer that serves you. That's the only thing that matters. And what serves you might not serve me, might not serve the next person. That's not important. Otherwise, we're just sort of, well, whatever. I have too many thoughts on that. I'm going to shut up. Yeah.
The words you just heard were from my professor, Dr. Love. He's the professor of my honors class, and he is one of those teachers that really shows you what learning is all about. Like, our class is not centered on academics, and of course we progress academically and we're challenged in our ideas and our writing and how we communicate, but fundamentally he's wanting us to really talk about things that matter in life and how we can really grow as people. And I think we all need teachers like this who really push us to see the important things, and I think that's always why I've considered going into teaching later on in life. I think teaching, you have such a capacity to change people's lives, especially at our ages where we're still trying to figure out who we are and what we believe in and what we want to stand for. So he just reminds me of Mr. Keating from Dead Poet Society. I told him this, but every class period is just so inspiring, and I know a lot of my classmates feel the same way, that this is a class where they've both found community through friends but also have really changed radically in the way they think. So yeah, shout out to all the teachers that are amazing. You do such a great job at shaping who we are as students and people. So yeah, love to you. you go. Okay, you can't see, but my cat's there. This video has been so long for just a week, so if you're watching still, thank you so much. I know a lot of it just seems super boring, and while I was editing, I was definitely thinking like, who is gonna watch this? But I found these days I've really liked these type of videos that show the ordinary parts of life that are often the most beautiful and most personal. And so I hope that this video can be kind of relaxing for you guys. I have no idea, but it's just to document my life. So thank you for being here, part of my little journey. well. Something I've been thinking about lately is how I've noticed how obsessed I've kind of become with the physical appearance, and you always want to be that empowering person that is about what's on the inside, and that really is what matters. But I think you can still embody empowerment and self-love and still struggle with insecurities. I mean, we're all human, we're all flawed, we all wish things were different because of social norms and what people tell us is what's desirable, and I think it's okay to struggle with that, especially during quarantine when everything is just out of whack. I think whenever I have what I call a crisis of confidence, it's all about, am I putting value into this world, and what does that look like? And I think comparison plays a huge part, because for some reason in our heads, when we see someone else doing a great thing, you immediately discredit or disvalue everything you've already done or are currently working on. And that just really sucks. I don't know why we do that to ourselves. You know, we're doing the best we can. We're all doing great things. We're in our own little ways and big ways adding value, whatever that looks like. Maybe that's making someone smile, or maybe it's starting a nonprofit, or maybe it's writing a poem that someone really connects to. I think we need to realize how much value we are putting into this world just by being ourselves and doing our very best. So, thank you for listening to this rant. I need to go exercise. Yeah, just be gentle with yourselves. You're doing great. Yeah.
See this room here?
Got some strawberries. You can see they're like all over. It's pretty cute. Oh my gosh, did you hear that? That was my stomach. On a beautiful day like this, I think it's so easy to forget that there's so much loss happening outside the four walls that I'm in. I'm in a super lucky and privileged place to be able to stay inside, take online classes, and I don't have to risk my life, especially in saving others. And so I'm trying to be so grateful and mindful about what I have and how I can give in the ways that I can. Sometimes I think that the universe is testing us with this pandemic of what we can make out of such a dark and confusing time as this, whether we will act out of compassion or out of fear. And I think this pandemic has definitely shown both. I think humankind is so powerful and is so capable of so much good and also bad, and I just hope that we will focus on what we can really make out of this moment, what we can learn, what will come out of it for the better, because we are really entering a new period of human existence. And that sounds super dramatic, but I think it's true. We read about this kind of scenario in books, and even now it doesn't feel real. It almost just feels like summer, and it feels like reverting to a high school version of myself in the summer, where I'm basically just staying in and doing work and lounging around. And so I think it's all about finding a new normal and finding value and purpose that is a toilet. Yeah, just finding what we can create out of this moment for good and for better. And I just hope that you are giving yourself grace during this time. It's okay if you're finding it hard to be motivated, if you're dealing with loneliness from social isolation. It's all different, and you can't expect yourself to adjust so quickly. But one day you will be ready, and I think you will make some beautiful things out of that. So, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're taking care of yourself, and yeah, sending my love to you.
I felt fine with you there, to be aligned with you there. I follow the lines to your hands, and I will form to you again.
So I'm going to teach you how to make ramen or pool noodles. Excuse my botched expression. You're going to need flour, water, and some salt. Super simple. So put about 2 2/3 cup of flour and a half teaspoon of salt. And you're going to mix that all together. And then you're going to add about a cup of water, but adjust as you see fit, and mix that baby up until it starts to form a dough. Here's my dad teaching me some Japanese. He's been learning through his company, and it's really cool to see how excited he is to share what he's learning. Now you're going to plop your little dough boy on the counter, and you're going to knead it for about 10 to 15 minutes or until it becomes really smooth and elastic. And my dad stepped in for this part. He was super great at kneading. I promise I didn't just put him to work. I wanted him to get involved so we could do this together. But here he is just kneading away. So once that's done, you're going to brush a plate with oil. We use sesame here, but that might be too strong for your taste. But just spread the dough out and then brush some more oil on top. And then depending on how thick you want your noodles to be, cut your dough into strips, and then you're going to wrap it in cling film and let it rest for 2 hours at room temperature or in the fridge overnight. So in the meantime, you have some time to kill. I went outside and picked some strawberries in my backyard, but my dad is too afraid to eat them, so I just admired them for a bit. Alright, so let's get back into the kitchen. We honestly didn't have a very sound method for making the actual noodles, but you're gonna hold both ends and slap the noodles on the table. I often resorted to just pressing them flat because I know my skill levels.
You're still filming?
Yeah.
My God, that's so gross.
You're gonna boil them for about 1 to 2 minutes depending on the thickness, and bon appetit, you have your noodles. I flavored mine with soy sauce and the holy grail of drugs, chili oil paste, and then just topped it off with some ground pork. This tasted so good, and it was also just a really fun thing my dad and I did together. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. This was one enormously long vlog, but I hope you enjoyed it or found some peace in it. And have a lovely day or night. I'll see you next time.